Welcome to Girlies vs. TBR. I'm Mari.
I'm Alyssa.
And today's video is book chats for Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair.
We both had to read this so fast.
Oh my gosh. It was chaotic.
Yeah.
Because this week we went to the Fourth Wing night. And that took up 2 of our free days.
Yeah.
2 of the two only days that we have off of work. So, and we kind of came home late.
Yeah.
So there was like no time at all. And then I worked up until today. And I was like, I gotta.
Yeah. I had yesterday. So we came back on a Thursday. I worked Friday. And then I had this weekend off.
But you had things to do too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of a blur. I feel like I read it so fast, or I listened to it really fast.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to have it done.
I finished it this morning. I had like I think that much that I had to I listened to it this morning. I read and listened, so I kind of flip-flopped back and forth so that I could read as much as possible. I still think if I didn't have to read it this quickly, I think I still would have read it pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's not like you have to kind of be like, okay, what's happening? There's not a lot of yes, it's world building. It's there's a lot of information that you have to pretty much know to keep up with what's going on, but it's not to the point where it's really hardcore epic fantasy where you kind of have to use your brain power.
Yeah.
It's a good balance between fantasy and romance.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have read it fast too.
Well, and I also feel so it is kind of urban fantasy. It is in it's basically our world.
Yeah.
With
made it easier.
Yeah. With some women that have magic. There is, a god. A lot of it is religion-based, but it's the same kind of things that our major religions are based on. So, that was easy to understand. And there's just a couple of magical elements. It's not, a whole different, system.
Yeah, no.
And, yeah, so it was definitely easier to understand, even though it was, a fantasy.
I liked the world a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
I don't know if you can see this map, but when you look at it more closely, there's different districts that are all linear. So there's a hierarchy, I guess. And so the highest one is by the Garden of Eden, which is Haram. And then just below that, there is Temple City. Did they even talk about that one that much?
Not
really
much.
And then below that, it's split into 2 where there's Gallant, I think it's Gallant, and Acadia. And then below that, you have Nineveh. And that is where Lilith is now, where she lives now. And so that's where Lilith lives now, and that's where a lot of, the book does take place. It's, the lowest one. It's the one closest to the 7th gate, which is the root of evil. So it's this is the level of sin, basically. And then Haram is the one that is the highest.
Her family is based off of
in Haram.
In Haram, yeah.
Yeah, the Leviathan house is up here. And then there's a cemetery. Did you look at this map at all?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't look at the map.
There's some really interesting stuff. I looked at the map after I was done reading it. So there are 7 gates that are kind of the 7 levels of hell kind of thing. So there is in Haram, there's the 1st gate and the 2nd gate, and then in Temple City, there's the 3rd and the 4th, and then Gallant has the 5th, Acadia has the 6th, and then right outside of Nineveh is the 7th. So also at each entry or exit point to the next level up, there are statues that are the archangels that are watching over everybody. And judgment kind of. So there are statues at every single thing as well. The gates stay closed. So
we find out what's going on with the gates.
Yeah. So the gates themselves, no one really knows what's behind them. They say that there's fire behind 3, there's water behind another 3, and then I guess hell is behind the 7th.
Yeah. There's I didn't really pay attention to that too much.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, these gates stay closed, right? So they're just kind of there. They're not like the point of entry or an exit or anything like that. It's just that, like, these gates are just, like, literal, like, archway gates, and they stay closed. So that's kind of, like, the setting, the whole world. You know, basically, women are the only ones that can have magic. I think it's only certain women that are descendants of the Elohim, and that means they have magic. The whole thing is based on that their magic comes from God, so it's not their magic, it's God's magic, and they can't use it without, like, supervision from a man, even though women are the only one that can hold magic.
Yeah, it's like you need permission kind of thing.
So if you're, like, a very powerful family, like, you're expected to, like, marry a powerful, like, magical woman so that the man of the house can use and determine how she uses her magic.
And that also translates into control of man in this story, too. Because not only do they need, you know, permission to use their magic, they also can't order food without the permission of a man. Or, like, the man has to choose what you eat.
Yeah.
And we see that in the story. They also need permission as to, like, who they marry. Kind of like now.
Yeah, it's like the powerful families of each realm are, like, held to these, like, kind of crazy standards.
Yeah.
If you're not in the royal family, like, I say royal family because it's, like, the families of these.
There's 5 families.
Yeah.
5 powerful families.
Yeah. If you're not in the families, it's, like, not always like that, but that's how they expect their family and anyone, like, associated with them to act.
It's like the elite.
Yeah.
Royal families.
Yeah.
Powerful families.
Which Lilith, our FMC, is from one of the most powerful families because she's from Haram, which is the very top one.
Family Leviathan, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
House Leviathan. Yeah. Lilith, we learn that she's from there, but she's living in Nineveh because she, like, does not want to be a part of this, like, whole thing.
Nope.
She kind of wants her freedom. Parents are basically allowing her to live there. And they just told the church that it's like, oh, she's having a rebellious year. Yeah.
Yep. And we find out that there's this man who basically watches over her. She thinks it's because her dad put him up to it. To kind of, like, you know, make her not too rebellious. Have everything kind of under control in a way. You know, oversee what she's doing, who she's talking to, and that man, I'm gonna call him Z, but his name is Zahariv.
Yes, Zahariv.
Yeah, I'm gonna butcher it, so I'm just gonna call him Z.
Yeah.
Daddy Z.
Yeah, and he is, like, the main head of his family that basically controls Nineveh. Yeah. So he is his family is one of the, like, actual families.
Yeah.
The 5
one of the 5. Yeah.
Powerful families in this, like, realm.
When I got introduced, I was like, okay. Because he is, 8 years older than her. They do know of each other. Because, you know, powerful 5. Kind of like the powerful 5. Well, now it's 4, right? Of publishing houses. I don't know why I thought of that.
Big 5.
The big 5.
The big 5.
The big 5.
They, like, didn't want them to, like, interact that much. Is because even though his family is one of the 5, since he is, like, the lowest level, basically, they all kind of do look down on him and, like, his city that he is, like, in charge of.
I feel like they were kind of like mob families. That's how I see the whole world. Yeah. Essentially. I was like, okay. Because, you know, Lilith's dad kind of gave that vibe of, like, no one can touch my daughter. Yeah. Essentially.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it kind of is like
That's
that.
how I kind of, that was the vibe I was getting. Oh, okay. Like, all right, so Dad
like she's like
was,
the mafia princess.
Yes, that is how I was like seeing it.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes it easier to kind of understand a little bit like how the world is. Like it was very much like the moves were giving mafia.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I see. The mom is like just there, you know. She's kind of, her and Lilith have like a really bad relationship. The mom is really into the religious aspect, and there's this like one guy who is like this big like religious figure.
Yeah, I think he's the archbishop.
Like, yeah. Asshole. Disgusting ass man. Anyways, let's not get into it yet. But he's like the figure, like they could do no wrong. It's like basically the church is untouchable. Like
it's like the church is the law of the land.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. That put perfectly. Thank you, Alyssa. Yeah. But yeah, it's like they can do no wrong. Even if they are doing a lot of wrong things, a lot of corrupt things.
Yeah,
like,
they just find ways to justify it.
Yes. They're like, well, we can't do anything about it. Even if the big five are so powerful that they're like, yeah, we have power and money, yet they cannot touch that man. Nothing that he does. Yeah. And like they basically follow this religion, and it's like either you're in this religion or you're a heathen, essentially. I was honestly, this kind of cured a little bit of my like
I was gonna
religious trauma. I was like, oh my god, yeah.
I was gonna ask you how you felt about it, because it's very, I feel like it is a lot of like Catholic based and I guess like Christianity based like rules kind of and like the things that they believe in and stuff like that, and how they see non-believers and maybe like religious persecution for people that are not following that same religion. So yeah, I was gonna say like I didn't realize it was gonna be this heavy.
Me either.
Because I mean, obviously it's blood of Lilith, but I didn't like. I thought it was gonna be more like representative and not like this whole world is run on religion. And I was, so that kind of like surprised me a little bit. But I also liked it.
No, I liked it too. Yeah, as someone who comes from a background in Christianity, I no longer follow that at all. But I was like, oh shit, this is actually like kind of intense, and I was like I was triggered for her. Yeah. In certain aspects, and like when things were happening, I was like, oh god, this is exactly how like all of that. I was just like, yeah, I feel that. I feel that heavily. Yeah. Kind of healed it a little bit. Yeah. Especially towards the end. I was like, oh, yes. Yeah. Yes.
I'm so glad for you. So when we meet Lilith, she is having to come up with her rent, basically, for this month. And she lives with her roommate, Coco. And basically, in Nineveh, in order to be a woman that is making her own money, like, the only thing you can really do is be a dancer. At like a club. Zahariv like will not let her do that because she is of House Leviathan, and he's like, your dad would like kill me, and if anyone recognizes you, it would be very, very bad, because he told me to like keep an eye on you, kind of thing. And so he's like, no, you can't dance. She has no way really of making her own money in Nineveh. She's out at a club, and her magic, which I don't know if all the women's magic work like this.
I don't think so. I think it's specifically.
Yeah, we don't really know the different kinds, or like how they all work. But hers is specifically like, if someone is feeling desire toward her, she can kind of like latch on to that, and then kind of get in their head a little bit, or like, so she can ask them questions.
It's like compelling.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and then they're compelled to answer truthfully. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if all of the magic is based on like desire.
I don't think so. I think that's her specific. Yeah. But we didn't get any other information on the other ones magic
then. Yeah, system. I don't know. So she's in a club, she's looking around basically for something that she can steal so that she can like pawn it off and make money for her rent. And she's looking around, she sees this guy who's talking to a couple other guys, and he has this like bejeweled dagger on his belt. And so she, like, sneaks up next to him and they start talking. She latches on, takes the blade from him, and asks him, like, how he got it. And he says he basically stole it off of a priest and he murdered the priest. And so she's just like, oh my god, this is crazy. She takes the blade. She doesn't get caught on the way out by, like, the security at the club because they can tell when they're, like, using magic. They know that she stole it. But Zahari basically, like, is the big guy of, like, all of the clubs because it's his city. And so she's like, you know, you just have to let me go, right? Like, come on. But yeah, so that's, like, them kind of, not first meeting, but that's our introduction to him in the book, too. So she gets this blade. I don't know what this is. You know, it's, like, gold. It has all these jewels on it.
She does feel like there's, like, some sort of connection between her and the blade, though. Like, she's, like, getting, like, this vibe off of it.
Yeah.
Like, when she's holding it, she's like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on? So I was like, okay, so this dagger is important.
Yeah.
You kind of get that vibe of, like, okay, something's going on. Something's happening.
Yeah. With
this dagger. It's going to be important.
Yeah. And she's just like, I don't know what it is, but I need to pawn it so I can make money.
Yeah, and she's like, this is going to cost, like, $5,000.
Yeah. Yeah. So she goes to pawn it at the guy she normally, like, works with. And as soon as he touches the blade, his eyes begin to bleed.
Yeah.
And he dies. Like, drops dead.
Instant death.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. This is okay. So, like, the action does get, like, it's, like, immediate action.
Yeah,
there's, like, really no, like, slow build up or anything. I was like, okay, we're in it.
Yeah.
We're in it now. People are dying already.
Yeah.
So if you like that.
Yeah. Then you should read it.
This is good. Yeah.
She calls her roommate Coco, who then calls Zahari because she's like, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And, like, he kind of takes care of it. And they're like, we don't think it was the blade. And she's like, was it the blade? Like, I don't really know what happened. Maybe there was a toxin on the blade. And, like, when he opened it or whatever, or he touched it on the spot, then that's how he died. Like, she's not really sure. So she ends up with the blade again because Zahari tries to take it and she takes it back from him. She like, pickpockets him, like, at the scene of the crime, basically.
Yeah. And she knows that he, like, let her do it, too.
Yeah.
Because it's Z. You know? Z is not easy whatsoever. And I want to mention...
Yeah.
We do have a nickname.
Yes, we do.
We do have a nickname. This is because this is exactly when he's going to, like, go to her when, like, he's, like, on the floor dead.
Yeah.
But we do get a nickname and he calls her Little Love. I just wanted to put that out there. I love a good nickname.
Yep.
Or any nickname, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, Little Love. I was like, how do you think that man does not like you? He literally calls you Little Love.
Little Love.
Yeah.
Not no, like, sugar plum, nothing.
No.
It was, like,
literally,
love.
Yeah. He
So I'm
just
like,
put it
girl.
all out there.
Girl.
Yeah.
He's literally telling you his feelings.
Yeah. I mean, we have two nicknames because she also gets called Baby Girl all the time. Gabriel is, like, one of the men that, like, works for him, and she got really close to him and his wife, Esther, and Gabriel calls her Baby Girl. So as soon as he sees her, he's like, oh, come here, baby girl, and I'm just like, oh!
I love it so much. I really, honestly, her relationship with Gabriel is the sweetest thing ever.
Yeah.
Wholesome. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I could just see, like, two giant men.
Yeah.
And she's just like...
Yeah.
Literally,
I feel like it's like he's, like, her uncle.
I love it so much.
Also, in between each of, like, her chapters, like, at the end of her chapters, we get one tiny, like, snippet from Zahari's point of view. And they're, like, usually pretty small. It's only, like, I think the longest one was, like, 2 to 3 pages. The first one we get is basically when she's just, like, at the club and she gets caught and she's like, well, you have to let me go, like, whatever. Cassius, his brother, is talking to him and he says, she treats your territory like she owns it. Cassius said when I stepped outside the holding room, that is how Lilith treats the world, I replied. Yeah. So we get these, like, tiny little snippets. I loved it.
But really good, like, liners. Like, one-liners and stuff like that. Like, I've tabbed so much of what he says in those little snippets.
Mm-hmm, me too.
Because I'm like, damn. Mm-hmm. I do. I was telling Alyssa that I kind of wanted it just to be a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah. Maybe in book 2 we'll get more. Mm-hmm. But I do like that, like, it was basically showing, like, the tension between them. Mm-hmm. Or she was like, he is attractive, but he, like, doesn't like me. Or, like, he hates me kind of thing. Yeah. And then you get these little snippets where he's just like, I will kill anybody that touches her, and I will burn the world to the ground just for her. And it's just like, I loved it so much. So one of the examples is one of the men that work for him, tangentially kind of thing. When she did get caught, she was like, kind of like a, do you even know who I am kind of thing? Mm-hmm. And he's just like, I don't care who you are, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, we have to search you. And she's like, well, you're not touching me. And then he's like, well, you have to strip then. And so basically he's like trying to get her to strip, and he's alone in the room with her. Mm-hmm. And then Z comes in, and he's like, do you realize you're alone in the room trying to get the daughter of Leviathan House to strip for you? And the guy's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, he was like, I fucked up.
Yeah, and later she asks, I think this is the guy. Later she asks what happened to that guard. She's talking about the guard and also that she wants to dance. And she's like, no one will recognize me. And she says, no one has to know. Isaiah, the guy, didn't know me. And then Z says, and look where that got him. And she says, where did it get him, Zahariz? And he says, in the fucking ground.
It's just so good.
He just takes him out.
Takes him out.
Yep.
There was one quote earlier on when we were talking about women and their magic and stuff. Mm-hmm. I just want to read this because I tapped it and I was like, oh, this is so good. Yeah. Yeah, it's like really, really like at the beginning. Mm-hmm. It goes, when my powers first developed at 18, the whole experience made me violently ill. It still did if they had an appetite for violence. My magic was the downfall of my obedience. It wasn't until then I realized everything the church had tried to say about women was a lie. We were not responsible for lust in men. We existed and they desired. Sometimes that desire was mutual, sometimes it wasn't, but men had a hard time wrapping their dicks around the word no. And since our world valued them more, we were the ones who suffered. Mm-hmm. That kind of pretty much, like, it encompasses, like, the whole thing.
Yeah.
On men and
like
and
their how their world works and stuff. But also that was good though, because that's kind of her magic. I feel like can also sense when like someone has an appetite for violence along with their lust and desire. Mm-hmm. And so she can kind of sense that as well. So yeah, that was like a good example. Yeah. And maybe, so I feel like, because she was saying that once her magic developed, she realized that like women were not responsible for the lust of men necessarily. So I do think also that that's another indicator that she's the only one that has that kind of magic. It kind of alludes to something that happens to her, too, when she was younger. Mm-hmm. We find out later on, which we'll talk about, but yeah. Mm-hmm. She's been definitely hurt really bad by men. Lilith wants to earn money as a dancer, right? Yeah. And, Z has been, no, like, you're not going to do it, Yeah. I'm not going to let you dance for anyone. Yep. Okay. She ends up cracking him down. Yeah, because she's like, if you're not going to let me steal stuff to sell it, like, there's no other way really for me to make money, and I need to make money. And, like, it, obviously, after the whole death of that guy, he was like, I kind of don't want her in danger. I feel like there's a lesser evil here, so let me just let her dance. Yeah. But a lot of the women who have danced have auditioned, and guess what, y'all? One of my favorite tropes, bro. He's like, okay, I'll let you dance, but you have to dance for me. Yep. And I was like, I was screaming when I read that. Yeah. I was like... Yeah. Because at this point, like, besides his POV, we haven't really gotten much from him. Nothing. Of that he was, like, interested in her. She can't sense his desire. Like, he keeps it either, like, locked down or there's something, she doesn't really go into it that much, but she doesn't really sense his desire. She does mention that, like, he'll drop the wall and then she'll feel it. So he does have some kind of, like, way to block her magic out, or magic in general out. But yeah, he was like, go to praise at 2 p.m. if you don't lose your nerve. And she's like, why would I lose my nerve? And he was like, because you're going to dance for me. Woo! Yeah. And I was, like, shook because I was like, oh, my God. He has literally not given us anything yet. And then he was literally like, you're going to dance for me. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, I was happy because, again, he's very, like, stoic. Like, there's no reading his emotions on his face or anything. So I was like, sir. Sir. At this point, I was like, it's so obvious.
Yeah.
Because, like, he wouldn't, like, show it on his face, but, like, his words were what really, like, impacted me.
Yeah.
And, like, his actions. And I was like, okay, we like this.
Yeah. Well, he's like always coming to her rescue. He's, like, always coming to her aid. He's always making sure she's good, kind of thing. So, yeah. So, after they have that exchange of him saying, you're going to dance for me, we get Zahari's point of view again. And Felix, his driver, says, that girl is going to be the death of you. And he says, I didn't need to be told something I already knew.
So many good one-liners.
Everyone around him is like, you're fucking whipped.
Everybody knows.
Except for her. Yeah. Except for Lilith.
Because he doesn't give anything. We just know. Yeah. From everybody else around them, like, yeah, this is obvious.
Yeah. While she has the dagger, like, as soon as she gets it, she starts having these, like, very vivid dreams. Each one picks up at the place where the last one left off. So it's not a recurring dream, but it is recurring in the sense that, like, it's the same, she's doing the same, like, thing. We're just further along in, like, the story. It's like a
continuance
of it. So she starts out, like, basically the first one, and, like, a lot of them have to do with, like, her being in the desert. She's, like, very parched. She's heading toward something. She hears a lot of, like, someone is talking, like a riddle, like a prophecy kind of thing. They're talking to her, or they're talking, like, about her, and stuff like that. So she starts, like, this desert journey, and basically she gets into a cave. Then it goes, like, from there. But basically the dagger is, like, making her have all of these, like, weird dreams, or it's kind of, like, calling to her.
Yeah.
But you're like, we don't really know what this is about yet.
There are, like, snakes that end up going into the dream. And I'm like, at some point, like, I honestly, right off the bat, I was like, is this, like, a manifestation of her magic or something?
Yeah.
Because I was like, because it's like, she felt it, like, within her, like, deep within her. And I was like, is this, like, her unconscious, like, magic trying to, like, wake up or something?
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is very, like, deep.
Like, maybe that, like, she has more magic than she realizes, and it's, like, trying to get her to dig deeper into it.
That's what I was getting when, even, like, the first dream, I was like, is this, like, her magic? Because, like, I felt like she had, like, an awakening when she held that dagger.
Yeah.
Because she was feeling it already.
Yeah.
Like, the moment she, like, was near it, when she touched it, she was, like, feeling something. So I was like, oh, maybe this is, like, some type of awakening type of thing.
Interesting. I didn't think that, but that makes sense. I just thought it was something else is calling to her.
I got it as, like, a magic thing. I mean,
that makes sense.
I don't know. I was just like, there's, like, something. Yeah. I was just like, there's something. It's, like, in her ear. Yeah. And I'm like, that's, like, her.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense because we don't, like, sometimes it was, like, talking about her, and then other times it was, like, talking to her. Yeah. And so, yeah, I feel like that does kind of make sense. Yeah. When she was growing up, she would always have questions about the way things worked in the church and, like, basically their religion and stuff that she thought were very valid questions, but every time she would ask them, people would get mad because she was, like, questioning her faith and stuff like that. And so she has, like, a flashback of talking to her mom. Her mom was saying, our role in this world is to reinforce the power of faith. And she said, faith in what? It's our magic, not God's. And her mom got very, very upset. And she said, you are Elohai, The blood of God is in your veins. It's God's magic. It's always been God's magic. Never forget. And so she's saying, like, it's in you, but it's not yours.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, honestly, it was like nothing is yours. Like, you're here to serve. Her mom's a bitch.
Your mom is a bitch.
I was like,
I hate her.
Damn, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, she gets to praise, right?
Yeah. She's a little bit late because she just had dinner with her dad.
Yeah.
And she's in, like, formal clothes. She's in, like, a pencil skirt, like, a button down.
Yeah.
Like, heels. And she shows up, like, just, like, a minute late. She, like, was running in through the door.
Yeah, and so then, you know, he's there. He's like, well, let's get to it, right?
Yeah.
And so then, honestly, I was also screaming at this point because, let me just read it for you.
Yeah.
Because I can't. I thought this would be, like, maybe later on or something.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's like, she's like, I'm not going to dance in these clothes.
Yeah.
So she's like, taking everything off. She's having fun with it. She's trying to kind of, like, get a rise from him because he doesn't show any emotion.
Yeah.
Or, like,
she, wants to push his buttons because he never, like, reacts to anything.
Like, nothing at all.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I'm going to tease him. And so, like, every single time she would take something off, you know, she would try to, you know, flaunt an asset that she has.
Yeah.
She's, like, bending down. And, like, clearly she makes it so that, like, her ass is right
in front of him. In his face.
In his face.
Yep.
In his face. And she does catch him. Looking.
Yeah. She turns around and she catches his eyes going, oh.
He was not slick enough. And she was, like, trying not to, like, smile.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I do want to read this because I was shook. Because this is before she even dances.
Yeah.
This is before
and
she
again,
dances.
we don't, like, get anything from him.
No. So then, when he does say stuff, I'm like, wait, sir. Like, what?
Yeah.
She goes, I could feel myself coiling up inside like a snake, which is snake, because dream snake.
Yeah.
The reaction was automatic. I didn't like being told what to do, but that was why Zahariv was warning me. He knew my rebellious streak wasn't a streak, it was just part of my personality. Yes, Daddy, I said, my voice thick with sarcasm. And Z's jaw ticked, but the corner of his mouth lifted, eyes gleaming darkly. Good girl, he praised, his voice low and rough. He sat back, crossing one leg over the other. Now dance for me. Excuse me?
Yeah.
I cannot with this man.
Yeah, she was, like, literally trying to... She was trying to push his buttons when she said, yes, Daddy, like... And then he said, good girl, now dance for me. Oh, my God.
Exactly. I was like, hello?
I don't think I would be able to dance at that point.
No! I'd be like...
I just found money.
Honestly, I feel like she always, like, is teasing, but then, like, he does too much.
Yeah.
And it's like, girl,
teasing, and then he's like, no, but seriously.
I'm like, girl, how do you not realize?
And then he, like, sits back, he, like, crosses his leg and, like, puts his leg on the, I was like, he's getting ready for the show.
Please. She does dance for him.
Yep.
And it is hot. It is tension builds.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great scene, honestly. Yeah. I was like,
yep. He puts his hands on her ass.
Yes.
And she wasn't expecting him to touch her at all.
Because he doesn't.
Yeah, but he grabs that thing.
He does grab that thing. And I was like, finally.
Yeah. Finally
we get him breaking.
Yep.
Because he was not breaking. Okay. This whole time. He wasn't. And I was like, progress. Him grabbing her ass. That is what I tapped. Yes.
They get caught kind of right after she's dancing by two enforcers, and this is kind of like the police of, like, the church. They, like, come into the private room they're in, basically, and she's like, shit, this is really bad, you know, yada yada, and they're, like, kind of they're obviously implying that they were just, like, doing something in that room, and she's thinking, like, no, we have to deny this, and he's just like, yep. So don't fuck with me or her kind of thing. And every time something happens, she's like, he needs to deny it. Like, we can't be doing this. But instead of denying it, he just reinforces it, like, every time.
Literally. There's people after her.
Yeah.
There's people after her. People trying to kill her, kidnap her. There's a lot going on here.
So she goes to visit Gabriel, Zahareves, one of his men, and Esther, his very pregnant wife. And she visits with them, and then they put her in a taxi to go back to her apartment. They're still in Nineveh. All of us is in Nineveh. As she is in the taxi, like, the guy, like, turns around to be like, oh, is everything good? Like, do you need anything? And then as he's turning around, she sees something run out into the road, and he hits something. Yeah. She's shook. The guy is shook. The guy gets out to go see what he hit. She, like, looks up and, like, turns off the windshield wipers. And as she's, like, looking through the windshield, she sees him get murdered. He's, like, freaking out. And then that's when Burke, I believe, is, like, banging on her door, the window on her door to, like, have her get out. I'm fighting for my life right now.
They're armed. Okay, yeah. This whole thing, it's urban fantasy, so everybody's armed. Okay? Yeah. Burke is literally pointing it at her. Yeah. And she's like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But then we kind of get a moment of, like, Burke kind of getting out of this, like, trance type of thing that he's in. I don't know what it is, but, like, he's like,
she sees that his eyes are, like, glowing violet.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Just, like, end me. She kills that man.
Yeah. So she, like, shot him once, and then he, like, was still kind of coming after her, and she said that. And then he said, like, I don't want to do this. Yeah. He tried to go after her again, and then, so she did have to shoot him again, but she didn't want to have to actually kill him. And then it turns out the other enforcer, so Burke was one of the enforcers that found her at the club. The other enforcer was the one that they hit with the taxi. Why were they even after me?
Obviously, she's shocked, right? And then she sees something glowing under Burke's body. She goes, guess what? It's the fucking dagger. The dagger is under him, and she pulls it, and she's like holding it. Yeah. And then she starts hearing this voice, and I'm like, oh my god, things are happening.
And they have the dagger because they gave it to them. Yeah. Like, Zaharev gave them, like, oh yeah, this man was dead. He told Lilith that he stole this dagger. Like, here's the dagger. And so he gave the dagger to them in a box. In, like, a sealed box. And somehow, they opened it or something. And now Burke had it in his possession.
While she's holding it, she's hearing voices. Okay? Whispers. Yeah. All right? And she goes, as I listened, words poured from my lips. Beware, goddess of night, mother of the moon. There is poison on your tongue, venom in your blood. Lie upon my altar, bleed upon my steps. Release me from these bindings. Break down these carmine gates. We're getting something. There's a connection here. She got something to do with these gates that we keep hearing about. We just don't know what specifically. Shit's going down. Yeah. And then someone tells Z that she's in trouble. Yep. And he's like, I need to go to her right now. And I'm like, see, this is a man of action. Yeah. This is a man of action. Yeah. This is a man of action, and he loves her. Yep. He loves her. She hit her head at some point, and so she's back at Gabriel and Esther's. Is just in the bed. Yeah. Like, damn, I'm fucked up. Yeah. They call the doctor. They're like, no activity for at least, like, a few days, a week. And Z is like, who hurt you? I'm gonna find it. And she's like, Burke. It was Burke. Yeah. And he was like...
But she doesn't tell them about, like, the glowing eyes. No. Because she's like, I hit my head really hard.
She was like, they're gonna think I'm crazy.
Yeah, that too. And she's like, I don't know what that was. Maybe I hallucinated, kind of thing.
Z's taking care of... I freaking love it when the MMC takes care of the character. Yeah. Do you need me? Yeah. That's what I got.
He says it a lot. And then he also says, I have you a lot, too. Yeah.
It's just
so things just keep happening, honestly. Like, she has, like, the
non-stop
worst luck. Yeah. Not only is she still, like, recovering from that, I don't know why she was out this night, and there is this guy that kind of, like, shouts in the street, you know, like, rambling in the street. She's walking by an alleyway, she sees his beanie that she recognizes that he always wears. Mm-hmm. And then she walks by an alley and she sees, like, these men attacking him. And she's like, what the hell? Like, why are you beating him up? You know, he's mentally unwell. Like, why are you beating him? So she tries to go after them. But then another guy comes up behind her and is like, put your gun down.
Yeah. Pass
the gun to them. And she's like, well, I have to because he literally has a gun to my head. And they pick up her gun, and then they shoot the guy that they were beating, and that she was, like, trying to help. And she's just like, what the fuck? And they put her into a car, bag over her head type of shit. And I, like, who are you? Why are you even here? Why are you in my district? Mm-hmm. Like, who sent you? And he's like, oh, well, we're going to take you to the boss.
Yeah, because you said my district.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. They take her to the boss, and it's the Archbishop Lisk that sent them.
Disgusting.
Yeah, basically to murder the dissenter.
This is when we start to kind of connect things even more. We know that he abused her.
First, like, when she was younger and she asked all these questions, like, she would be sent for punishment to him. And he would do things like hit her hands because she wasn't writing.
Yeah.
He would have her, like, repeatedly write things over and over. She wasn't writing them quick enough. The abuse escalated from there to
pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. Mm-hmm. The worst things you can imagine.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
we'll leave it at that so we don't get flagged.
Yeah.
But there was abuse between her and the Archbishop when she was a child.
So she is, like, reliving that in her head.
Yeah.
Okay.
They, like, rip off her bag and they're like, Lisk is our boss. And so now, she is, like, kind of going through.
She's like,
all
this
of
man.
That. She wasn't expecting to see him.
No. Because she hadn't.
Yeah.
She wanted to stay far away from this man. Mm-hmm. She is, like, triggered. She's, like, panicking, reliving those moments when she was a child.
Yeah. And it was very much like she knew how she wanted to react when she saw him again. But when she was surprised by being put in that situation, she wasn't expecting it. It wasn't on her terms.
Yeah.
Then she didn't react the way that she wanted to react, which she kind of, like, went back into that fear. She froze. And she's, like, kind of hard on herself for that because she's like, that's not how I, like, ever wanted to react if I faced him again. She just kind of had, like, a flashback. And then she resorted to the same kind of coping technique she used in the first place.
They're home, you know, and
it takes her home.
She's like, do not leave.
Yeah.
I need you here.
Yeah.
I need you here. Showering or whatever, and she's not okay.
Yeah.
She's not okay at all. Z hears her struggling.
Yeah.
In the shower. Mm-hmm. And you know what this man says? Mm-hmm. He goes, do you need me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you need me?
Yeah.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Didn't ignore her. Didn't do any, like,
yeah, no, but she said she was fine. He was like, are you okay? And she said, I'm fine. And then he said, do you need me?
It's that simple.
Yeah.
A man who knows, a man who cares, a man who will do anything for this woman. Mm-hmm. And she's still like, does he like me?
Yeah.
And she's still wondering.
But does he like me though?
Guessing. Like, alright.
Yeah. And then he just straight up holds her while she just breaks down and cries.
All soaked.
Yep. In the shower.
He's like, I don't care.
Yep. So he does stay the night just to, like, sleep with her. In case she needs him again, kind of thing, and protect her. She has another nightmare. Mm-hmm. And then, but when she wakes up, she does go into the bathroom. She's, like, getting ready to wash her face. You know, she just woke up and she's rinsing her face. She, like, looks down. The water that she's, like, washing with is turning brown. And she's like, what the hell? And then she says, for a moment, I thought it was coming from the faucet. But as I cupped my hands beneath the stream, the water was clear. I frowned, then ran my wet hand over my forearm, feeling sand grind against my palm as brown droplets fell to my pink tiled floor. I looked in the mirror and dragged the same hand over my chest. My fingers left paler slashes in the dust on my skin. What the fuck is happening to me? I muttered. Did I sleepwalk? And so she's just like, I don't understand. She's covered in sand. And that's her nightmares. She's like in the desert. Mm-hmm. That was really fucking weird.
Yeah, and then we also keep getting like voices and like chanting and like again like those like rhymes and shit. Yeah. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Yep. Yeah. This is important, y'all.
Yes, it is important.
This is important.
Very important.
Again, I wanted to text this to you, but I knew you were not far at all. Yeah. But I feel like every book that I've been reading, there's a cat. Yeah. Is this a sign? I feel like I need a cat.
100%.
We get a cat, ladies and gentlemen.
A kitten. So Coco brings home like a little black kitten.
Yes. And, you know, Coco was like, well, she asked Coco, she was like, what'd you name him? Mm-hmm. She goes, Angel. They crack up. They're like, angels are not, nope. She goes, cherubs are small and sweet. I said, angels are something else. Mm-hmm. And so they're laughing about it. And they end up calling the cat Cherub. Yeah. Is that not cute? Yeah. On the fence of like having a cat. Yeah. But girl, this is her baby. Yeah. Her child that she takes on these like dangerous ass missions. She just puts her in a little sling and she's like, all right, let's go. Yeah. Also, the Harif likes the cat. Yeah. He's always like petting the cat, always picking up the cat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like mentioned that like the cat is like baby and like he's like huge. Yeah. And so like I just imagine like a huge man just holding a little kitten. Yeah. That does something to me. Uh-huh. It really does my brain. Yeah. The chemistry in there is like, yeah, I needed that. We get a lot of, you know, Coco and her. And Coco is so, I love Coco. Yeah, I love Coco too. They're having girls' moments, you know, because they're roommates. She's like, well, I just don't know if he likes me. Yeah. We're this far in. Yeah. He does all of that. Yeah. Still, girl is still not. I know. Also, he literally, he did break down her door. Mm-hmm. So when they were coming back from her, like, seeing Lisk, she's like, I don't have my keys. And he's like, all right, bet. And just breaks her door down to get into her apartment. And then he's like, I'll call somebody to come fix it. So he does call somebody to come fix it. Oh, yeah. So Coco says, do you ever wonder why Zaharib dropped everything for you? And she's like, Coco, I don't want to go down this road. I knew what she was going to suggest. Zaharib, she interrupted. Zaharib freaking Zareth, the literal head of the most powerful family in Eden. The man probably has drugs to sell. Zaharib doesn't sell drugs, I said. People to kill. But I didn't argue with that one. But you lose your key and he's here to break down doors for you? And she said, it was one door. And yes, because he made a deal with my father to watch out for me. Coco says, I've seen the way he looks at you, Lilith. And she says, he looks at me because he's watching, probably to see if I'm going to steal. Coco shook her head. No, Lily, that man wants to fuck. I almost laughed, Coco. I know when men want to fuck me. You know what radiates from Zaharib 99% of the time? Annoyance. No, ma'am. You are wrong. I love how Coco just like straight up called her out. That's what friends are for. So funny, yeah. Okay, Coco is... She's like, be so for real. So that morning after her and Coco have that little combo, that heart-to-heart, he comes back and he's like, I have a new phone for you. You have a new door. You have a new lock. Here, all of this for you, right? Mm-hmm. Her dad, like, invited her to a gala. Like, he really wants to go to this gala. Her to go to the gala. And Zaharib is obviously going because he's one of the families. Mm-hmm. He's like, I have to go because, you know, appearances or whatever. And she kind of, like, digs at him a little bit and says, like, he's such a crit, which they call, like, the very pious people that come down from Haram to Nineveh to, like, sin, basically. And then they go back up and then they're forgiven during the week. And then they come back down every weekend. They call them crits, like hypocrites. So she calls him a crit. And he says, you have a pretty mouth, little love, but you say the ugliest things. And then she's just saying, like, I don't think it's a good idea. What if the commission, which is, like, the church, basically, and, like, the families that, like, run it together is the commission. And so she says, what if the commission thinks you and my father made some kind of deal behind their back? And he says, I don't give a fuck about the commission. I would think you'd understand that by now, but I guess you're too busy assuming the worst to actually fucking listen to me. And she's like, oh, he mad. But he does that a lot, where he says, like, he doesn't care what the commission thinks. Yeah. But she, like, still thinks he does. We get his point of view, and he's hunting down the 4 men that kidnapped her and took her to Lisk. Yep. Yeah. A man of action. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
A man of action. He's not going to stand around.
Yep.
You touched her.
Yeah.
And you die.
Yeah. And he's saying, he's saying he also smokes cigarettes a lot, which I don't really like. He says basically smoking kept my mind occupied. Without it, I craved other things, untouchable things. And while he's like going to murder the guy that kidnapped her.
Yep. The blade comes back.
Yeah. The blade just has a habit of like reappearing
somewhere near
back to her. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Low key. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? She finds the blade in her room, stabbed inside the mattress.
Yeah.
Okay. She's like, what the fuck? Why are you back?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get rid of you. And you're coming back somehow. She wants answers. She doesn't know what's going on. Nobody really knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's like, all right, so I need to talk to someone that knows something. I don't know. So she decides to visit Sarah.
Yeah. Which is her last resort, kind of, by the way.
Yeah. It's like her last contact.
Yeah.
She has a lot of contacts.
Because everyone else, like, Zahari basically made it known, kind of, that they were working together. And so now no one wants to give her any information because they think she's a rat. So she has to go all the way to, like, the worst area to talk to her last resort, Sarah.
Sarah's like not kind of like wanting to talk to her.
She like pushes her journal where she like drew it under the door, and then that gets her to finally open the door, and she's kind of like, how do you know what this is?
Sarah is part of Order of the Serpents.
Yeah.
That is like a coven of witches who kind of follow the Book of Splendor.
But she knows what happens before the Book of Splendor. They are witches. They access the magic that they're not supposed to be accessing, basically. Like, if they're not Elohim, they're not supposed to be using magic like that. But they do know the Book of Splendor was, like, just basically written by men to kind of create the whole world that they're in now.
Sarah basically is like, if you get me Jade, I will give you more information, essentially. Yeah. And so she's like, okay, I'll go do that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
She's like, this is my only this is, like, the only chance that I have. Like, I have to go get her this drug because no one else knows what this knife is. Like, no one else will talk to me about what it is. And clearly she knows something that she's holding back from me. So she leaves. She kind of stops by dance practice, and Coco is there. And Lilith has this beef with the choreographer, the teacher. Yeah, she's like the head, the head dancer or someone. Hasena. Yeah, she's like, she has this beef. Hasena does not like her. No, there's beef there for sure. We get to a part where it's so heartbreaking, where she gets a phone call from Esther. She picks up, and there's like no response, and she's like, "Fuck." I gotta go to Esther. Yeah. Because she's not answering. Yeah. She's like, is she butt dialing me? I don't know. She hangs up. Esther calls her again and again. There's like nothing at the other end of the line. And she's like, no. Like, I have a bad feeling. And she books it to her house. She basically runs all the way to Esther's and Gabe's house. And she finds her with blood everywhere. Yeah. She's pregnant. This is a pregnant person, yeah. Yeah, she's pregnant. This is Gabriel's partner. Yeah. And she's on the floor. And so she calls the ambulance. And it's so bad. Yeah. It's so bad. Because, like, my heart is beating at this point. I'm like, I hope Esther's okay. I hope everything's going to be good. But, yeah, there's just a lot of blood. Yeah. Lots of blood. So they take Esther to the hospital. She says, like, as they're, like, wheeling her in, she's like, I have a feeling this is the last time I'm ever going to see Esther. She has, like, a really bad feeling about it. She calls Zahariv to be like, where is Gabriel? Like, Esther's in the hospital. So they all, like, go to the hospital. Esther doesn't make it. No. Yeah, but they're able to do an emergency C-section for the baby. So now, this has to be so tough. I feel like this is, like, the toughest thing, is that, like, Gabriel is mourning his wife. His wife literally just died, but his wife's death is also the birth of his son. Yeah. At the same exact time. And I just feel like that is so difficult. And, like, you see him struggle with that. An added layer to all of this, too, is that Esther called Gabriel. Yeah. Like more than 10 times. It was, like, around 14 calls. Yeah. She called him a lot. Like, that was the first person. Phone. Yeah, that was the first person that she called. And Lilith had been like, you need to, like, stop calling Gabriel off to Zahariv. She was saying, you need to stop calling him off for all these things because he needs to be at home with his pregnant wife. And they had, like, just had that conversation. And Gabriel was away, not near his phone when all of this happened.
The guilt.
Yeah.
All the emotions.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't. Yeah. And I definitely teared up. I didn't cry, but I was choked up. I had
a few tears. I had to take my glasses off and wipe my eyes. Yeah.
I was like, this is so depressing.
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Because I was not expecting that at all.
I wasn't expecting Esther to pass away.
Yeah.
Like, at all. That had me shook. Shook. People dying left and right, bro. I can't. What also really hit me hard was when Gabriel had the baby and they called Lilith to go into the room and she couldn't even get past the door.
Yeah.
Like, she was seeing Gabriel with the baby, and Gabriel, like, called to her. He was like, Lilith, like, come meet my son.
Yeah.
And she, like, couldn't move.
Yeah.
And she just ends up, like, running.
Yeah. She just, like, turns and runs.
And runs straight to, like, right back to Esther's place, too.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I can't, like, without Esther, like, I just can't do that. And I was like,
yeah.
It was so hard to read this or to listen to it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
and the doctors had also, like, after Gabriel went back with his son, the doctors did come to talk to Zahariv, and they said that she had a high amount of something in her system that induces preterm labor.
Yeah.
And it was like an herbal substance, but they said she had a very, very high amount of it in her system. And so at this point, you're like, Lilith is like, someone did this to her because she would not do that to herself. Yeah. So when she runs back from the hospital to Esther and Gabriel's house, she's kind of, like, trying to figure out, like, what happened.
Yeah. And Zia's like, you shouldn't do this right now.
Yeah, and they're, like, looking around. She's trying to find where the herb came from and if it's, like, in any of the other tins, and they're, like, smelling the mug that she was drinking from and stuff like that. And then he's trying to stop her from going into the bathroom where all the blood is. She, like, pushes past him and goes in and sees it anyway, and then, like, breaks down again. And they hear, like, a crash in the nursery at Esther and Gabriel's. And she goes in there and she sees something, like, moving in the crib.
I was not expecting this part.
Me either.
I was like, what is in here?
And basically it's like a weird, like, blob alien thing. Shrieks when she, like, turns the light on, I think. And then it just, like, smashes through the window to get away from them.
I just, to be honest, I didn't know how to even picture that thing.
Yeah, I think it's just like a sludgy blob that, like, glows purple in the middle. They, like, follow it out. They, like, go run downstairs and they're, like, trying to shoot it. It's, like, separating and multiplying, and they're like, what the fuck? And they're, like, stomping on it. It's, like, goo is coming up off their shoe.
This is disgusting.
Yeah, and they're both just like, well, what the fuck is this? So when they're talking about who could have done this to Esther, she's like, it's obviously Lisk. And he's like, I don't know if it is Lisk. He says, you think Lisk targeted Esther because of you, but he has no reason to hurt her, even if she is important to you. And then she says, I hate when you defend him. And he says, I'm not defending him, but you're missing the mark. She says, I can't listen to you anymore. It's not like you do anyway, he countered. He says to her, I'm not saying Lisk doesn't deserve your hate, but your rage belongs somewhere else, and I want to make sure you unleash it on the person who deserves it the most. I love that. I love that quote because he is just like, I'm not trying to tell you to not be angry or to not go after the person, but I want to make sure that you go after the right person, and I'm going to allow you to go after and destroy the right person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though we know Lisk should also rot in hell.
He's like, no, I'm not telling you not to unleash your rage. I want you to unleash it on the right person.
They have a moment while they're in Gabriel and Esther's place.
Yeah.
I feel like this is, like, the first time where they're kind of, like, leaning on each other.
Yeah.
After, like, such a, you know, crash and burn moment, right? we get Z's POV. He's like, cleanup is gonna come.
Yeah.
clean up everything.
To their house.
And all that. He goes, I needed a fucking cigarette, something to distract from the ache in my fucking balls. But I also didn't want to think long or hard on what Lilith had said in the dining room. You act like this has to mean something. Fucking brat. She meant everything.
Yeah. So she was trying to be like, we just want physical comforts. Like, it doesn't have to mean anything.
And he's like, the fuck?
And he's like, absolutely not.
That is not it.
He calls her brat a lot. I love it. So she has, like, another dream. She mentions that, like, the only dreams that used to, like, wake her up were sex dreams. And she's like, usually they're about Zaharib, right? But she goes to bed. She has another, like, dream nightmare thing where she's like in the cave now. So she like crossed the desert, she's in the cave now, and there's like a snake, and like the snake bites her. The voices are basically trying to get her to go deeper and deeper into the cave, and then it kind of does turn into like a sex dream. The snake like comes behind her and then like turns into a man, and now she's aware that like the snake is a man. And she's kind of like, I don't know what's happening, but you know, he starts like touching her and stuff like that. And she says, in this moment, I was a desert and he was the rain. We were two creatures no longer meant for each other, yet only he could cool the scorched parts of my body. It had always been that way. Goddess mine, his voice rumbled. He was inside my head. And then she says, you are a serpent. They start having sex, and we don't know, like, I was like, is this because she was just thinking about, like, her sex dreams? Or is this like a dream walking situation? Because you later, like further down, it's the Harib that she is having sex with in this dream nightmare thing. And then I was like, is this like dream walking? Like, is he kind of actually there kind of thing? But we're not really sure. We don't really know why he even appears here. I don't think she ever says that he did. She never tells him that, like, he was in this dream.
No. But he's definitely something.
Yeah.
This is where I was like, okay, so he's more than just this powerful man.
Yeah. She, again, says this, like, creepy riddle. Give me your venom, your holy blood. I will take your poison, your silver tongue. Drink deep from my body, taste darkness on my lips. Worship me within my temple, on the steps of my altar. Bring forth my rapture, my violent end. She hears, you are brilliant. I heard him say, open your eyes, little love. And then you realize it's Zaharib in her dream.
The whole thing was weird. I was like, oh, okay, here we are. We have
her going to find the drugs for Sarah. Basically, she knows Zaharib stole a shipment of drugs from her dad.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I think he has it. So she goes to, like, the port.
With Cherub, though.
Yeah. She's
okay.
Well, cause,
she has her baby.
Yeah, because Coco's like, you're on Cherub duty tonight. She's like, all right, well, we gotta go get some drugs, cat. Cherub. So, whoop. Yeah.
But it's so funny because Z, like, is watching her on the cameras.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah. And she basically, like, tries to use her magic on the men guarding the ports and stuff. And so she's like, do you want to touch my pussycat?
And they're like, yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we do.
And then Cherub is like, meow.
And Cherub is like, what the fuck? And so Cherub plays along for a little bit, and then she bites the man, like, after Lilith gets information about where Zaharib's, like, shipping containers are at.
Yeah, Cherub was like, you're not Z. Don't touch me.
Yeah. So they, like, kind of go after her. She does go into Zaharib's, like, shipping container storage area, and he is just, like, watching her on the security cameras.
He calls her. He's like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Looking through my stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to do anything. Because whatever.
He basically just, lets her take it. So she gets the drugs that she needed for Sarah.
We end up learning a lot about this dagger. Yeah. So essentially what Sarah says is that this dagger is a part of a set of 7 daggers, and they were divided up. If they were to, like, forge the 7 daggers together, it would basically open the gates.
Yeah, because so the 7 daggers together make a blade called the Deliverer, made by humans during, like, this wartime between the true gods and the Messiah. And they basically captured the Messiah, and he convinced the humans to, like, make something to free him. So they made the deliverer. It cut through the chains of the Messiah. And then the Messiah turned on the true gods and basically, like, put a net over them and then built the mountains above it.
Yeah.
And so they are trapped beneath the mountains.
Yeah.
According to Sarah. Sarah and the Order of the Serpent can speak to them, and they have said that if you forge the blades back together to make the deliverer, it will open the 7th gate and release the true gods, who will then be in service to the humans. And she's like, well, how do you even know that they're actually going to be in service to us? The true gods are the two gods that basically made the Elohim. So all of the descendants that are the Elohim are descendants of these two true gods, which is why they are not killed by the dagger.
Lilith asked why they were, like, why the blades were, like, separated or whatever. Like, why was it unmade, essentially? And Sarah goes, it was broken by the prophets who shared the 7 pieces. As the deliverer, it posed a threat to their power. So the church has 3 blades. Lilith has the 1. Yeah. And then the other 3, the Order of the Serpents has it.
So basically, the Messiah, the one that, like, convinced the humans to release him, he trapped the gods. Yep. And then he was like, y'all are boring. Peace out. Yeah. And then the humans, who were the prophets, were like, shit, like, we still want to hold power. So we're going to basically just create this whole system based on lies so we can stay in power. And they broke apart the deliverer blade so that no one would have basically a weapon to undo all that they have done. Because they want to stay in power. Sarah kind of, like, is like, yeah, the Order of the Serpents, they have the 3 blades. And then Lilith is like, and who are they? Yeah. Because she still was like, I don't know who these people are. Yeah. And Sarah replies and says, your church would call us witches, but the magic we practice is no different from the magic they steal from the Elohai. It is only witchcraft when it does not serve the archbishop. We are women who are tired of giving away our power. Aren't you tired? And Lilith was like, damn, that, like, hit home. Yeah. She's like, I mean, yeah. And so much. Lilith is kind of like, I don't know if I really believe this. Because she's like, how do we know? And Sarah's like, you have faith. And she's like, I don't, the whole point is I don't want to have faith in things that I, like, can't be sure about. And so she's still kind of on the fence about this. About, like, who the Order of the Serpent actually are. Can they actually hear the true gods pounding at the gates kind of thing? Because that is also what the dissenter was murdered for saying. Is that, like, can you hear them pounding at the gates as the true gods? Yeah. Sarah's like, well, I know the Order wants you. They want you. Yeah, so they set up a time for them to meet. Enforcers come suddenly, and they like, have to escape. Banging on the doors. Yeah. And she's like, secret tunnel escape. Yeah, let's escape. And then, so they're, like, going through this tunnel, and then they get out, and the enforcers burn her whole shop. And she's like, we will meet again. Yeah, she says, like, we'll meet in, like, 4 days at midnight, not a minute later, and, like, I'll take you to the Order. She does go to try to find a demon blob, that she calls them, to go and be like, okay, I need to find the demon blob, I need to know how to kill it, I need to see if, like, this story that Sarah is saying is kind of real. She does find a demon blob, and she tries to tase it, she tries to shoot it, it's a whole thing. She's so unprepared. It's so funny. She's so unprepared. Right? But it did burn her. Okay. It did, yeah. Her and Zachary meet up. Things are discussed during business hours. She comes back after meeting with Sarah and, like, escaping from the enforcer. She goes into her apartment. And he's there. And she's like, whew. And he's literally sitting on her bed. And she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, well, I replaced your door. So, like, clearly he has a key. When he replaced her door, he just had a key made. Yep. And he's there. And they're talking. She, like, goes into the bathroom, comes back. He's digging through her backpack. And he finds the blade. And he's like, where the fuck did you get this? Kind of does try to distract him from the blade at first. And then they start kissing. And he accidentally grabs her where she got burned from the demon blob. And he's like, oh my god, what is it? Like, did I hurt you? Yeah. And he's, like, kind of freaking out. And she's like, no, it's not that.
But then she has, like, no choice but to tell him.
Yeah,
literally
he's kind of like, he's not leaving.
Yeah.
Like, she needs to tell him.
Yeah.
So she tells him about everything Sarah said. And she's like, do you know about these other stories that are, like, not in the Book of Splendor? And he's kind of like, I mean, you hear things.
Mm-hmm. So then once he's in the know, there's some things that go down.
She says, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, because he kind of stops it, and she's, like, getting frustrated. And so she says, can I ask you a question? I know you fuck. I said, so why not me? And then he's like, do you really want to know? He said, someday I will have to watch you marry another man, and it will be far easier to do if I never fuck you. But then right after that, we get his point of view, and he said, that was a lie. It was never going to be easy.
Never. So good. She ends up talking to Gabriel because she was kind of distant from him after Esther's death, like, passing away.
Yeah, I think she, like, didn't want to face it.
Yeah, she was like, I can't look at him. And so she finally decides to actually talk to Gabriel and meet the baby. She goes over to Gabriel's and...
The day of the funeral.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which she does not attend.
Yeah.
She doesn't go to the funeral.
She's just like, I can't attend it. But you know what? I am glad that she at least, like, saw Gabriel that day. Because I think it would have been worse if she, like, didn't go to the funeral and also didn't see him or talk to him and let him know that she couldn't bring herself to go. So I'm glad that she did do that and, like, go talk to him first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She meets the baby.
Yep.
And she holds the baby, even though she was like, I don't know how to hold the baby.
She's like,
baby.
Which, same girl.
But she does see Z holding the baby, and she's like, oh my God, I don't want kids, but that makes me want to have kids.
Yeah.
You know? I was like, that's valid, girl.
Yep.
Valid. So they reconcile.
Yeah.
And Gabriel ends up giving her an amulet that Esther wore. It's like for protection.
Yeah.
They're saying their goodbyes, and then Z's like, do you want me to drop you off?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I'll walk. And then he's like, well, behave, little one.
Yeah.
And she arches a brow in challenge. He knew what I was saying. He didn't need the words, fuck me and maybe I will. Because, you know.
They have this little thing, right, where she's like, if you want me to do what you're telling me to do, then you need to give me what I want.
Exactly.
And what she wants is to fuck him.
Yep.
And so it's like a challenge going on between them.
Yeah.
Like, well, if you just give me what I want, then I'll freaking listen to you.
Yeah. In his POV right after, he's like thinking about what she said. That they should just, like, hook up and it'll mean nothing. It's just a hookup or whatever. Yeah. Basically, he says, I would break every rule for her if she says she wanted more than just a hookup.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, this man wants a relationship.
Yeah. Because she's very much like, our families, like, she's like, we can never be a thing. Like, we're never going to get married. You know, we can't really be in a relationship because, like, my family wouldn't approve. Like, I shouldn't be in a relationship with your family kind of thing. And so she put it on the table as like, well, sex can just be sex. Like, we can just hook up and that be it. And he's like, no, if she wanted a relationship, I would break all of the rules of our society to do so. So then she's getting ready to go out to the gala that her dad, like, basically begged her to go to. Z is also going, and so he was like, we can just go together. So she's at least going with him. And she's, like, looking at her dresses, and she's like, well, there's this, like, long black one with, like, a square neckline that my mom's probably, like, intending for me to kind of wear, you know, dress appropriately. Or she has a red dress with a low neckline and a little thigh slit. Yeah. Okay, and she's like, I'm gonna wear that one, actually. And then she also, homegirl going through it because she cuts her own bangs.
Yeah, she does. She cut her bangs, and I was like, oh my God.
I'm just gonna do it. And I was like, oh, girl.
She just did it.
Yeah. And then she puts on, like, heavy makeup, like,
and her strappy gold heels.
Yep.
And I was like, girl.
Yeah. And then Z comes to pick her up.
And he's like,
yep.
Jaw on the floor.
Yeah.
It's like, Sion.
Yeah. I love that. I love a good risque hot outfit.
We had that with Not Safe for Work.
Yeah.
She
also wore like a red dress. Yeah.
It's always the red dresses.
So there was a funny moment when he picked her up, too. He was like, yeah, my housekeeper said I had to wear color tonight. And she's like, so you went with cream? And, like, he has a gold tie, and that's his color. He's like, well, yeah, cream's a color.
Yeah. Honestly, this is like Mafia. I'm just saying.
And it kind of is like Mafia.
Like, literally everything that happens is like
Mafia.
So, at the gala,
yes,
she's there, and she's like, God, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
But she's with Z, so everything is fine. Yeah. Everything's fine. Not really. Everybody's looking at them. Her mom and dad are like, why are you here with him?
Yeah.
Like, why are you here with him?
Yeah. When Gabriel gives her the amulet, I don't think she puts it on, actually, because she does say her and her mom are having this, like, very, like, fake, nice conversation. She just says mother, and then her mom says darling, and then she says, I expected her to voice some kind of backhanded compliment. Usually it's something along the lines of, what a charming necklace, even though I hadn't taken it off since my father gifted it to me. Tonight, however, she couldn't even manage that. So I think she's still wearing the original necklace her father gave her. It's the cross, and the bottom of the cross is sharp to look like a dagger. So the amulet is not on her. I think it's her normal necklace. But they have this very, like, fake nice conversation with her parents. And then we kind of learn why her dad, like, really wanted her there.
And that is, her dad betrothed her to some man.
Yeah.
A man that is not Z.
No.
A man who I could care less about.
Yeah.
And the way she finds out is, like, it's not even formal. Like,
no,
they're just like, like, he just goes up to her and is like, I hope you're not fucking him.
Yeah, basically he, like, comes to find her and is like, oh, there you are. Like, your dad wants to see you. And she's like, okay, well, it's fine. I can find him myself. Yeah. And he's like, I can escort you. And she's like, this is my childhood home. I think I can find my way. And he's like, well, I wanted to talk to you anyway. And then, so he's basically like, are you choosing to describe your relationship with Zahariv as a friendship? Kind of thing. And then she says, I don't see how my relationship with Zahariv concerns you, Mr. Caiaphas. And then he says, I think it's my right to ask my future wife if she's fucking the head of the Zareth family, don't you think? And she says, excuse me?
Yeah, honestly, this is crazy.
Yeah, and that's basically how she finds out that she's betrothed. Her dad didn't even tell her.
She is so upset. She's frustrated.
Yeah, she's very mad.
She's like, what the?
She goes in her dad's office, and she's basically like, how could you do this? She's like, you never even asked me why I left. So, like, when she went into Nineveh for, like, this year, almost 2 years at this point, and they were all like, it's a phase. Her dad never asked her, like, why she basically ran away from everything. And they're, like, fighting. He says, watch your tone. And she says, or what, are you going to hit me? Go ahead, I barely flinch anymore. Because her mom be slapping her. She's basically saying, you spent the last 2 years lying to everyone about why I was in Nineveh, but you never asked me why. And then he, like, starts saying some stuff, and she says, no, don't tell me why you think I left. Ask me. And finally he asks, and she divulges that the archbishop, his beloved archbishop, has been assaulting her when she was a kid. And she said, I left because you never once considered that maybe the reason I wavered in my faith was because the man in charge of it had touched me. I left because I didn't trust you to protect me. You never have. Not from mom, not from the church, and not from this fucking world.
Crazy.
Yeah. So basically, she left her father because he couldn't protect her from anything. And she went to Zahariv. Yeah. And he protects her from, like, everything.
Yeah, of course he does.
Or he takes care of it after the fact. The power goes out. The whole power goes out. And it's been flickering all day. And people were, like, joking, like, oh, your mom's party is using so much electricity. It's using all the electricity. Like, the power's been flickering all day. And then the power goes out. And everyone's just like, ugh, okay, whatever.
And then she finds Z, or they find each other.
Yeah, they go to the cemetery where they had the first conversation when they were younger.
Yeah, I just want to go home now.
Yeah.
I don't want to see her.
They're like, yeah, let's just go.
This man. He goes, we can go home. And then she, like, breaks down, basically. And, like, he's holding her. And he goes, you want me to do something about it? He asked. And she goes, you can't, I said, not without starting a war. And he goes, I would go to war for you. I would go to war for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember listening to that part and I had to pause it because I was like, oh my god.
I was like, this man.
Yeah.
He would go to war. He would start.
Don't care.
He would start a whole ass thing just to be with her. And she goes, I am not worth everything you would lose, Z. And he goes, you are worth it, he said, but I'll wait until you ask.
They walk up the cemetery. They like walk up the hill toward the house. She's kind of like, I don't even want to go into the house. Like,
so she like leaves everything in there.
Yeah, and like her little like fur stole thing.
Yeah,
and they're like, let's just like walk around to where the cars are, kind of thing.
And then what happens, Alyssa? Tell us what happens.
An explosion,
bro.
She doesn't know what's happening at first. He covers her.
Yeah, he like immediate.
They're on the ground. There's an explosion. She looks up, and it was very clearly a bomb that went off in her father's office where she just was.
Crazy.
Yeah. And he's like, they're like, oh shit. All she can hear is that he like pulls her up and says, run. Mm-hmm. And she got no shoes on, by the way. Mm-hmm.
I was like, she's going to step on something.
Yeah.
That was freaking me out the whole time. I was like, her bare feet.
Yeah.
Her bare feet.
They're trying to get to Felix, who has the car. But, like, they're outside the barrier thing, and since the electricity is down, they literally have to run all the way to him. He can't get to them.
Yeah.
And then, also, did you catch the part where Zahari literally, like, pulls apart the gate to let her through?
Yeah. I was like, that's so mean. That's so mean.
He was, like, so it was like he was testing the give, and then he was, like, pulled it and was like, go through. Whew! Damn.
You know, now they're on their way to Z's compound.
Yeah.
Mind you, they're like, she's like, a bomb. A bomb just went off. Yeah. My parents are like dead.
Yeah. And she's thinking everyone else is also dead. She's like, all the families, all of their children, everybody is dead.
But then Z says, no, they left before then.
Yeah. He was like, there was no one there.
Yeah. It was just your parents.
Yeah. And basically, we find out, which is also something, this situation is something that Sarah said as well when she was speaking to Sarah. So he says, they were gone, Lilith. When the power went out, Lisk messaged the families to return to their districts. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, I was supposed to die. Like, I was supposed to be in there and I was supposed to die. But when this happened, I was thinking back to what Sarah said, because she was basically like, how will we know, like, the end is coming kind of thing? And Sarah said, watch the rich. And she was like, what does that mean? And then she said that, like, the Archbishop, you know, will not allow them all to be killed kind of thing in the apocalypse kind of event, because it would be too expensive to start over again with all these hierarchies of these families.
Yeah.
And so she said, watch the rich. Like, they won't be here when that happens. That's the exact thing that happened, is that Lisk told them all to leave so that they would not be killed in the bomb. Crazy.
It is crazy. Honestly, I was like on the edge of my seat this whole time, because like, honestly, this is giving you like mafia events.
It really is, now that you say that.
Like, kidnapping, people chasing her.
Yeah.
Powerful families.
Yeah.
Now there's a whole bomb.
And
I'm
now
just like, what the
everyone like, they think she's dead.
Yeah.
But like, they're not sure.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, what happens when Lisk finds out I survived? And then Zahari says, then he will know he has failed.
Yep.
And then she says, he's just going to try again. And he says, I'll kill him before he even has the chance. Yeah.
After the bomb went off, they went to the compound. They're talking about everything that happened. And then she asked him to, like, bring Coco and Cherub, like, to safety.
And Gabe and Liam, the baby. Yeah.
He obviously did that right away. Yeah. I don't think she had to ask. I think it was just like, yeah, they're on their way.
Yeah.
What do we do? What do we get? What do we get?
We get another brat moment.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because she's like basically like pushing for answers. And he's like, it's being investigated. Like, people are working on it.
They're like, we have the council or whatever is investigating it, and she's like,
I just need answers right now.
Yeah. And so he says, you know, the electricity came back on overnight. So he tells her to behave while he's gone, and she says, you don't have what it takes to make me. And then we get a little hand necklace. A light hand necklace. Okay? Just a little light. And then he says, "Are you sure about that, little love?" And then she says, "You have yet to prove otherwise." He says, "You were such a brat." And then she says, "I think you like it."
Yeah.
And then she says, "I think it makes you hard." And he says, "I like it. You know, it makes me harder when you obey." And then he leans forward to kiss her. And he just tightens his little hand necklace a little bit. Good soup.
Yeah, good soup. It's good soup.
Good soup. Her and Coco, like, they're in the living room area. She sees footage on the TV of, like, at the power station. And they're like, "There's a weird aura last night over the power station before the power went out." And she's like, "Oh, shit, it's the violet demon blob thing." So she knows now that they're, like, causing it. And it, like, it's getting serious. The next morning, she kind of hears Zahariv and his brother, is it Cassius? Yeah, Cassius, like, kind of arguing, mainly about her. And so she, like, walks in, and basically they're like, "Your father betrothed you and named that man as his heir, that, like, that's gonna be, like, it's kind of up for grabs then, that, like, that guy is gonna run all of Haram, like, that whole section of the city." And so they're like, there's gonna be, like, some contestant things about that, where, like, it's kind of gonna be up for grabs, because, you know, you guys didn't actually get married, so he's not actually the heir, but he was named as the heir, and if he's not going to be the one to, like, own the city and run the city, like, who is? And so it's all very up in the air.
Yeah, they also didn't have anything in writing.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't written down. The only thing was that the archbishop was present when they decided that he was going to be the one to marry Lilith. Nobody else knew about this.
So that's kind of a thing of contention. And then also, when she goes into the office, they tell her that her mother was not found in the wreckage of the bomb. So her mother is missing. We don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the dad was found, and he was really badly wounded.
Yeah.
And
it was like the bomb was, like, literally something, like, it was, like, in the opened. Face.
Yeah. And Z was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna have her see this at all."
Yeah. He picked her up from her apartment at the gala. Then all this happened, they went to the compound. And she's like, "Okay, well, I don't have my things." Like, basically, I don't have the blade. The knife is still at the apartment. And so they go to get it at the apartment. It's, like, midnight, by the way. They go to the apartment to get it. They're kind of going back and forth. She calls him a coward. She says, "You are a coward, Zahariv." And he says, "If I were a coward, I would have walked away from you a long time ago." And she says, "You think you're brave for handling me? No one handles you, Lilith. Good fucking luck to the man who tries." And she says, "I don't want another man to try. I want you." And basically, she's like, "I can never seem to get under your skin." And he says, "You don't think you're under my skin?" And then he says, he starts to, like, hold her, and he says, "You don't think I carry you wherever I go? You are unshakable, a menace. Sometimes I think I would do anything to fuck it out of you. This goddamn defiance, even though it won't work. Even though it's what I adore most about you. I guess I just think it would be fun to try." So they try.
He says, "I knew you'd be greedy," he said, brushing his thumb over my pouting lips, "but I'm going down first." "Who made you boss?" I asked, as he kneeled on the floor beside the bed. "In this room," he said, jerking me toward him, "I'm always the boss of you." I was like, "Okay, sir, yes."
Yep.
Exactly. And so they have spicy time.
For, like, 6 pages?
Yeah. It's a long one.
Wait, no, 7. They keep going.
Yeah.
They do it again. 8 pages. It was great. I was enjoying it.
I mean, there was one whole chapter that they're just like...
Yeah. And what killed me is they basically are like, "Well, we should go spy on Lisk. Like, why not? Let's just go, like, sit outside his house." So, like, well, it's Sunday. He'll be, like, at the church. So they go to, like, basically spy on him. And they're like, "We need to get in the house and see if we can find the other parts of the sword that match her blade."
Yeah, so she has another dream.
Yeah.
Another weird dream.
It's just weird. Weirder and weirder.
And, like, at the end of the dream, like, they're screaming, and then she wakes up, and the baby Liam is, like, screaming.
He's having a hard time.
And Gabriel's also having a hard time.
Yeah.
He's like, I wish Esther was here. It's so heartbreaking, honestly.
I know. Because it's like, Gabriel's like trying to be like excited that he has a child, but at the same time, he's mourning the loss of his wife.
Yeah.
They're waiting for like the power to go out again to actually go into Lisk's house, and they're sitting outside for a while. Finally, the power goes out. They go in. They're searching and they're searching. She finds a book like in his office that is like basically talking about what Sarah kind of talked about, like the other true gods and stuff like that. But there's a whole bunch of different handwritings, so they think it was like from different people or something. So she gets the book, and then they all of a sudden hear like voices, and they're like, oh shit, we gotta hide. So they hide like in his office. But then like they all come in, and they're all talking about how like she should have died, and they're talking about Zaharib. They said that fucker's in love with her even if he doesn't realize it. Yeah. They're like, how close are we to the end? And Lisk says, close. And then, until then, we will have to continue as though we are not starting anew. And they're talking about Haram and, like, seeing who's going to be the head of it. They should all have a part of it. And they're saying, one guy's like, oh, we should offer it to Zaharib. And then they were like, or we can go to war with him and, like, keep it all for ourselves kind of thing.
Dumb.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
And they're hearing all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she says, please tell me we're going to fuck them up. And he says, yes, little love, we're going to fuck them up.
Yes. Couple who slays together stays together.
Yep. They leave. They get back in the car. And she's like, you want to fuck?
And then they do.
That killed me.
They do.
That literally killed me that she just straight up was like, so we're done with the like spying. Like, can we get back to it?
And it's like, give me 9 orgasms. And he's like, okay, bet.
Yeah. And they're just like, do you want to go inside? Or
and
like,
she's like, no.
And she's like, no, the car is fine.
In the back seat right now. 8 times.
Again.
I believe 8 times.
Yeah, it was 8. Yeah, because she teased him that it wasn't 9.
Oh, and we get a on your knees moment.
Yep.
And I was like,
yeah.
Yep, that is good. That's good. But
yeah,
it's like literally that whole
because
chapter.
they go in the car and they go inside to shower, and then she says it again.
It's the whole chapter.
And then then he's like, okay, yeah, sure, and they just keep going.
It's the whole chapter, though.
They just keep going. It's 6 pages, front and back. But yeah, she has another weird dream. This time she like makes it to a basin with strange liquid, and she drinks it. Yeah, she sips it. And then it's weird. Yeah, I don't know. That is strange. And then she's like, she sees giants adorned in gold. And later she's like, I think these were the true gods. These just giants. But there's more than 2, she said. She saw the gates. She said it looked like the gate had cracked. And when she reached forward, she felt something like a substance. Said, somehow I knew its name. It was like oozing. It said this was pinkish. So I don't know if it's the same as like the demon blob substance, because that was like violet.
Aren't they like pushing out? It's like magic.
Yeah, so it says Malam, it was called. It was the magic of the Elohim, the magic of the gods.
Yeah, they're pushing out that magic.
Yeah. And then so she said, suddenly I was far more aware of myself than any other time I made this journey. I was no longer just a woman on a pilgrimage. I was also Lilith, and I was angry. But she kind of realizes that like these cracks, they're like pushing that out, and basically they're pushing the demons out. And so she's like, okay, if these are the true gods and they're sending the demons out, are they actually good?
Yeah, because they were like, they're not really demons. Like, the whole angel and demon thing is like a little bit convoluted.
Yeah, she just calls them demons.
Yeah,
she's like, they look like demons.
Bad things. Yeah.
If they are sending these demons out, one of those demons possessed Esther and killed her. And so she's like, so I wouldn't trust them. Like, I don't like them. We don't know really what to do. So they're like, we don't think we should open the gate, but like, they think they should have the blade, like, all together.
Yeah. They don't want anyone opening that shit.
Yeah. And then she's also asking, like, what he thought about what they overheard. And she says, have you decided what you're going to do about the families? And he said, right now I'm going to act like they didn't stab me in the back. Can you do that if they decide to go to war over Haram? Yeah, I'll just offer an ultimatum unless you want me to fight for it. What's the ultimatum? So they can have it, so long as I can have you, only if you agreed, of course. So he's just like, y'all can have the whole territory.
Yeah.
Up there in Haram. I just want her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Okay, so then she ends up meeting Sarah. Because they had set up that time
Yeah.
to meet up, and she wanted to kind of meet more people from the order.
Yeah, she's like, we gotta see what these people are about. And
Yeah.
Zahari was like, well, I'm not gonna let you go alone. So they kind of set up this
Mm-hmm.
little thing where he's like watching from the distance.
Yeah, and it's Z and Gabriel, or is it Cassius?
I think it's Cassius.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're all there.
Because he's, like, they're not alone. There's someone
Yeah.
else with them.
Yeah.
For backup.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes and she finds Sarah dead.
Yeah.
Sarah's dead already.
Yeah.
They didn't even talk.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Enforcers are there.
Yeah. She
Enforcers
literally is
are
like,
there.
oh shit, pulls out her gun, and
Yep.
they're like, freeze.
Yep. And she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But, you know, they like squabble a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously Z and, you know, they're there. So they like are like, no, you're not doing anything right now.
Yeah.
But Lilith is like, this would be the perfect opportunity, though, to
Mhm.
get into...
Just to meet with Lisk. Because they're like, who sent you?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, Lisk sent us because Sarah is like, you know, talking against the church. And our orders were to find who she was meeting with and kill them. Or bring them back for questioning.
And Lilith was like, yeah, this will be the perfect time.
Yeah. Because she is like, Lisk will never think it's me, right? Because... that would be out of the blue. So it's a good time to surprise him.
Yep.
And what a better way to surprise him by being, like, literally led in by the enforcers.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, new plan. We're going to get you in there.
Lilith is like, I have to go in by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys cannot go in. And Z's like, I'm going to give you 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I'm coming in. Because ain't no way.
Yeah.
Ain't no way. Cause
He's going to leave her alone with that guy.
No.
She's thinking that because the first time that she was face-to-face with him, like, unexpectedly, she felt his lust toward her. And so she's thinking this time, like, as soon as she feels that, she's going to be prepared this time.
Yeah.
And not freeze. And that she's going to be able to latch on and use it against him. So that's the plan going in. And then they're going to ask him where the other blades are.
Yeah.
Does it go to plan?
No. Not at all. I was just about to say that. No.
Yeah. No.
Things do not go
it doesn't.
to plan.
No. She gets taken a list, but they take her to, like, the baptism chambers instead. And she's like, whoa, where are we going? And the guard that has her is, like, pissed at her. Starts talking all this shit. And she's just like, okay, I don't need you anymore, thanks. And stabs him.
Yep.
And then she goes into the chamber, and Lisk is actually not surprised to see her there.
No,
and now it's like, oh, shit.
Here's where we find out, right? Because he's alone. He's alone in this chamber. And so she's alone with him.
Yeah, and she has a gun.
Yeah. She
pointed at him.
Yep.
And she's like, why is he not more scared?
Yeah, and he goes, didn't I tell you there would be consequences for not returning to your family? She goes, is that a confession to my father's murder? He says, you say murder, I say sacrifice. And she goes, is that what you called it when you... Me. A sacrifice? And he goes, I have a duty to condemn the condemners.
Still trying to make excuses.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. And she goes, I was a child. And then he says, even children know when to obey and be silent, but you couldn't do that. You never did learn. And she goes, I hate you.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting, man.
So she's like, why is he not more scared that I have a gun, right? She's like, something else is happening. She lowers the gun, and then she sees him slightly relax. And so she's like, okay, maybe he is nervous that I have a gun on him. He's betting on her, like, bending to his will at this point and her, like, going along with it.
He wants to baptize her.
Yeah.
For her sins.
Yeah. And she says, so she sees him relax, and she's like, okay, let me go along with it. So she says, you will forgive me for my sins? All of them? Well, yes, he said, I have only ever tried to save you, Miss Leviathan. And then all of a sudden, there's, like, a flash of light. We don't really know where that's from.
Nope.
But she panics. And she, like, literally unloads her whole clip in him.
Oh,
and then she's like, oh, shit, I was here to ask him where the blades are. So she's literally, pew, 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 pew. And then he's falling into the water. And she's like, oh, my God, the blades. And she's like, hey, tell me where the blades are. Where are the blades?
That's actually so funny. I was like, girl.
Yeah. And she's like, where are the fucking blades? Tell me where they are.
Yeah.
And then, plot twist.
Plot twist.
Plot fucking twist.
Her mother is here.
Her mother is here. She says, I think you've silenced him for good now. And she turns, coming face to face with her mother and Alyssa Leviathan. And then she noticed her mom's holding a box. And she can, like, senses and, like, taste the metallic tanginess, basically, of the magic.
Mm-hmm.
And one, her mother is using magic to, like, kind of seal the room. And two, it's also the blades. So she can hear, like, metal clanking in this box that she has.
Yeah.
And she says, she looked remarkably well for a woman who had been missing for 3 days. In fact, I was pretty sure she'd done her hair for this occasion. And so she's just, like, confused. Basically, she's like, you're part of this trap. And she's like, yeah, basically. And she says, like, what are you talking about? And she says, you already know, Sarah has told you. And so now I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
She's like, Sarah?
Yeah.
You know Sarah? And
yeah.
She's like, yeah. She was like, she was a faithful member of the Order of the Serpent. She will be pleased to know her sacrifice has led to this moment. Tonight we forged the deliverer and released the gods from behind the 7th gate. And then this is when Lilith is like, so she's part of the Order.
Yeah.
And she's like, there's no way.
Yeah.
And basically Lilith is like, you are an Alicia Leviathan. You rode Lys's dick for a living. You hate women and quote the Book of Splendor to prove it. You terrorized me my entire fucking life on behalf of a religion you're trying to tell me you don't follow. And then her mom is like, I was trying to protect you.
What a load of bullshit.
And then she's like, don't fucking go there, bro. Her mom's like, yeah, I was just trying to save your life. And she's like, you saved my life? No.
Yeah.
You would not have mourned a day of my death. And then her mom is like, you're wrong. I would have mourned that. I carried you for nothing.
Yeah. So basically we learned that, like, her mom, she didn't want anyone to, like, basically assassinate her. That's why she was trying to keep her in line.
Yeah.
Because her mom created her to be, like, to fulfill the prophecy of opening the gates. And
yeah, she literally made her.
Yeah. And so she was like, you're insulting my father. And she's like,
that
ain't your father.
Bad. I made you.
Yeah. And so she says, you were made from my blood and the blood of the invader. And invader is capitalized. Mm-hmm. We don't know who that is.
Nope.
That's not the Messiah. I don't think that's anyone that Sarah talked about in her story. And then she said, you were made to fulfill a prophecy. And then we have the part of the prophecy where this is discussed. It says, she will ascend from the womb of her enemy, a temptress cloaked in night, a nightmare bound in chains. Her cries will rattle the earth. Her blood will break the gates. And so she says, you see now, your blood is the only important thing about you. You have never been, nor will you ever be, anything more than a sacrifice.
Then we kind of, like, start hearing Z at the door.
Yeah.
Like, banging on the door. Obviously, he can't come in yet.
Yeah, her mom is, like, still has it sealed with, like, magic, basically.
The mom says, perhaps I should let him bear witness to this, then he will not want you. This is, like, the badass part. Yeah. Because she's hearing Z, right? Mm-hmm. Behind that door, and she's, like, kind of, like, out of that trance because she felt like she was under her mom's, like, magic and, like, spell or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she kind of, like, snaps out of it when she hears Z, and I'm like, love. Love. Mm-hmm. And she goes, for the first time since I stepped into the room, I remembered who I was. I was not a victim. I was not a sacrifice. I was Lilith, a survivor. Yeah. My fingers flexed, and I saw the moment my mother realized her plan had failed. Her eyes widened slightly, and then a little more as my knife sank home. She dropped the box. It hit the floor and broke open, scattering 6 golden blades across the floor. I pulled mine free from her, and she pressed her hand to her side. It was the only reason I saw any blood, because the color of her dress was too dark to show it. And then that's when Z entered the room, because the magic is no more. Yeah. Her mom is stabbed.
Yeah. Z's coming in. She's saying her mom released a breath that sounded almost like a disbelieving laugh and staggered into me. Then struck, clawing at me until her fingers slid beneath the chain of my necklace and tore it free.
Mm-hmm. The pain was a complete shock, freezing every muscle in my body as it ripped through me. It was like being split in two, severed on a molecular level. My jaw opened, my head fell back, and I screamed. I was being rearranged. I could feel my bones moving, tearing through the flesh on my back.
Yo, I was like,
what is happening? Whoa. Her back?
Yeah.
I was
like, is she turning into a snake?
I was just like, there's something happening here.
Yeah. So, before we go on,
yeah.
So once the necklace is off, this happens.
Yeah.
Okay. And
necklace
again, I think this is still the necklace her dad gave her, not the amulet of protection.
Mm-mm.
Okay. But I don't know why, like, maybe her dad gave it to her at a point where, like, this transformation could happen and it stopped it. Because when her mom rips it off is when she transforms.
Yeah.
So I think the necklace coming off does have something directly to do with her transforming.
Yeah.
But we don't know what. We don't know if maybe her dad knew and that's why he gave it to her. Because she said she never took it off. Not a day after her dad gave it to her. I'm like 90% sure it's not the amulet from Esther. So she still has the amulet of protection.
So she wasn't alone. Everybody else joined her, right?
Yeah.
And she said, it overwhelmed my senses and I had to close my eyes and push it away. When I opened them again, I found Z watching me. He was watching me. I couldn't decide what he thought of me, but I knew it was not as my mother said because he came to me and knelt in my blood, fingers touching my chin and then my cheek. You're something else, little love, he said in grim wonder. It was only then that I became aware of the heaviness against my back. I turned my head and reached, touching what felt like wet skin over bone. Lilith, Z said, you don't have to look now. I ignored him and continued tugging at the strange mass. It hurt and I became nauseous with pain, but I didn't stop until I had straightened what was pressed so firmly against me. Then I realized what I was staring at. Wings. Bony, membranous wings.
Wings. She has wings.
Attached to her body.
Wings.
That grew out of her.
And she says, the only creatures with wings were angels, and they were not like this. Homegirl got wings. Why does she have wings?
Wings and
I don't know.
Z was like, you're beautiful.
Yeah, and he said, I got you. He always says, I got you.
I got you.
Oh my God. And then there's rumbling. Cassius runs into the room from down the hall, and he says, the statues, the watchers, they're fucking real. There are archangels in our city. So all the statues at each, like, entry into the next level of the city, they're real now.
They're real.
They're real now.
Life. Yeah.
She has wings. Yeah.
What does this mean?
I don't know.
What does this mean?
But also, they have the 7 pieces of the blade as well. But it's not forged yet. They do have all of the pieces of the blade.
What is she?
Yeah. The very last part of the book.
Literally the last sentence.
The last sentence is Aharu's point of view. And he says, they will call her a demon, but I watched her transform, and I will call her goddess.
This man
is
loyal to the end.
Which he did in her dream. That nightmare she had, he called her goddess before calling her little love.
Goddess mine.
Yeah. What is he?
He knows.
He knows something.
He knows.
Something going on here.
There's something. It's like he was waiting for this.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think he was waiting for this moment. I don't know. There's something here.
Yeah.
There's something that he knows.
Yeah. Why is he not freaking out? Why are they not freaking out more?
I feel like he was like conscious during these dreams. Like in her dreams.
Yeah, I think he was.
Like he was aware.
I think he was like dream walking with her kind of thing.
He was aware.
Yeah.
So there's a deeper connection there.
Yeah.
I wonder what he is too. Because like, I have so many questions.
Yeah. And especially also the part where he was like, I'll let you rage as long as it's not the right person. And now this is what has been unleashed. I don't know. Is this an duology or...
I just want to know. I have questions.
I know. And then in the back, which I don't know if you looked after reading the audiobook. In the back, she has some notes on, like, religion in general and, like, abuse in the church as well. And she talks about that and, like, all the lawsuits they've had to pay out and stuff like that. And then she talks about how, like, you know, the religion in her book is based on, like, multiple religions because a lot of religions have a lot of stuff in common.
Yep.
And then also she talks about, like, when Lilith first starts coming up in some of these, like, mythologies and religions, and, like, what the actual, like, story of Lilith supposedly was. Mm-hmm. There's, like, Lilu and stuff that were, like, demons and other mythology.
Yeah.
So she, like, goes into the background, kind of a lot of stuff that, like, basically inspired her and, like, the research she did for this book.
She has wings.
She has wings. Do you think the gods behind the gate are good or bad?
They might be, like, in between. Yeah. I feel like there might be some that are really bad. Some are, like, not. I wouldn't say they're, like, the other ones are good.
Yeah.
But I think there's things that we don't know. Like, there's more lore back there that we have no idea.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to hide a lot of, like, information to kind of control their population. So who knows?
I don't know
what all that's about.
Yeah.
Maybe she's the old god. Or a god.
Yeah. Well, he calls her goddess. So maybe he knows that she is. Are we gonna get a I am a god?
That would be good. That was good. I am a god. That was good.
Thank you.
Wow.
I practiced.
Actress here. Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
With the archangels also coming out of their statues at the same time, I think, like, maybe her transforming triggered the other things to awake. So I think it's kind of like a balance thing. So
she could be a harbinger. Harbinger of you know those angels that are basically like they are the ones that are like the messengers to the apocalypse or something.
Yeah.
Like type of thing.
Yeah.
She could
like,
be
maybe
like the
she's
harbinger.
that, and then that was the result that archangels are coming out.
Yeah, that they're awakening.
Or is it could also be like a good evil thing. So like, is she evil that woke up, and now the archangels
are like
the
good
we gotta to protect, and so that made them wake up, or is it the opposite?
Questions.
Yeah.
Questions, and we have no answers.
I know. Yeah. I don't know.
When is the next book supposed to come out?
Kind of thing. I have read another series that reminds me of this, in that, like, there are other gods, kind of, that are, like, hidden, and she thinks that, like, they're good, they're gonna save us, and then they go to release them, and she realizes that they're not good, that actually they became very vindictive in the time that they were, like, trapped, and now they just want revenge. And they're like, yeah, no, we only, like, called to you basically so you could let us out so we could, like, kill everybody. And so I'm kind of thinking if it's something like that, too.
Because, like, this just came out, so...
I know. I'm upset,
They probably just haven't announced it yet because it's too soon.
I know. I don't know. I'm definitely going to read the next one. This one was not too fantasy. It was good. It was, like, a good mix. And I don't think it was even quick because we had to read it so quick. I think it was just really quick. Because, like, a lot of stuff's happening.
It's, like, constant action.
Their tension was really good. I was, like, waiting for the tension to snap so long.
Yeah. It was so good, though.
I love them together, too.
I just can't wait for more. I'm so intrigued by the lore.
Yeah.
And what she is.
Yeah.
And what he is. And what connection they have. Because did they have, like, a past life together?
Yeah.
Or, like, what is their connection?
Yeah. There's gotta be something.
And he knows.
Yeah.
I know he knows.
Yeah. I feel like he does know. What he know? What do you know?
Because we don't have a lot of his POV either of, like, him with Gabriel and Cassius. Do they know, too?
Yeah. Yeah. Or does he just suspect? But he did know the other stories. He was like, I do know some of the other stories. Yeah, but
he never brought it up until she asked. I swear, if Cherub turns into, like, some warrior lion, I'm going to be like, bruh.
It's her familiar, so maybe.
That could be her magic manifested.
Yeah.
In a snake.
That's
form.
True. But she has wings now, so not a snake. Snake with wings?
Snake with, ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, look, this necklace is around the snake, and that's her necklace.
If you read this, let us know your theories.
Yeah.
I want to hear theories. Theories down below, please.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with reading those, so.
Yeah.
If you read it, or if you haven't, read it and then come back.
Yeah, exactly.
And say your theory.
Yeah. If you got to the end of this video,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. This one is going to be a long one.
So long.
Yeah.
But we definitely enjoyed this book. It was entertaining. Yeah, like, it wasn't too hard to understand. It had a lot of the tropes that we liked.
You finally read a fantasy?
Yeah. It was, like, barely fantasy.
Okay, but
like
fantastical elements?
Yeah, that's
Come
true.
on, there's magic.
Yeah. I feel like
I broke it.
I feel like I could go into this a little bit more, definitely.
Even if it's more urban fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, that's still good.
I mean, it's spooky season, so now I'm up for, like, some of these darker books.
Yeah, this one was good. I love anything that has to do with, like, Lilith retellings. Oh, so good.
I didn't really know a lot about this stuff going into it, and then you did, so it was, like, a good mix. Yeah, I think. It
was good.
I had known, like, a little bit about, like, Lilith's origin story, kind of. I didn't know that, like, it was going to be that heavily religious themes in it.
Me either. Yeah. I didn't expect it, like, that it was going to be...
But I remember reading it, and I was like, oh, Mary Alice and her religious drama.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't know how she's going to... I didn't know how you were going to react to it.
It didn't, like, good for the most part. Yeah. It's just whenever something came up, I was like, yeah, I know that feeling. Yeah. Like, I know that feeling. And then when I see a character kind of go against what she's, like forced upon. Yeah. Like, what you're supposed to know and stuff, then I'm like, oh, I don't feel so alone. Yeah. Or, like, bad, you know, for doing that. So I was like, yay, Lilith. Okay, well, thank you for sticking around and watching this video.
Bye.